You don't sound like a Democrat to me. I hereby, you can raise your right hand, you're definitely a conservative.
I can no longer remain in today's Democratic Party.
Former Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard has announced that she is still a Democrat, only to then announce that she is leaving the party. Because how was she still a Democrat? All right, so I'm going to go over this news, her insane video. I'm going to break down the bullshit in that. And then I'll get to some classic clips of even the dumbest people in America knowing this was coming years ago, and also some other reactions online. So first, here's this video. It's only a minute long, so just hold on to your... Actually, you know what? Let's watch this together. So I will pause it throughout and break this bullshit as we watch, because look, I know for a fact if I was watching this video and a minute straight of Tulsi Gabbard came up, I would likely turn it off. So I'm going to watch it with you, and we're going to break it down because it is just so chock full of garbage. So let's start here.
I can no longer remain in today's Democratic Party that's under the complete control of an elitist cabal of warmongers who are driven by cowardly wokeness, who divide us by racializing every issue.
Hold on. Elitist cabal of warmongers driven by wokeness, because we all know wokeness is all about bombing the shit out of people. Okay, so the warmongers. Let's break this down shortly, and then we'll get to the rest of this garbage. So this is defense spending by administration. You can see here, basically evenly matched. Democrats and Republicans, big fans of the military-industrial complex. The left are the only ones trying to get out from under this, and then, you know, there's maybe Rand Paul occasionally, but he's also very hypocritical. But there's only a contingent within the Democratic Party, like the Squad, like Bernie Sanders, that are trying to stop this kind of crazy spending on defense. Then we go to, here we go. Trump revokes Obama rule on reporting drone strike deaths back in 2019. So this is supposed to be the anti-war party, right? If she's leaving the Democratic Party, this must be better. Civilian deaths in U.S. wars are skyrocketing under Trump. So this is from The Intercept. Again, I link to everything below the video. You can read through this, check out the stats, check out their data, but you can do your own research. This is fact. U.S. military strikes fell 54% in Biden's first year compared to Trump's last. So even though under Obama, drone strikes at an all-time high, Trump took over, got even worse. In fact, much worse. And then Biden and Trump erased the ability to properly, for them to publicly announce the deaths, and then Biden took over and drone strikes fell. But no, these are the real warmongers. How about both of them are a little too pro-war, but clearly Republicans are worse. But we'll get to the other information here. Let's get through this trash.
And stoking anti-white racism.
Okay, I'm sorry. Anti-white racism. Okay, quickly here on this bullshit. This is from The Atlantic, and by the way, a lot of reading on this, but I'll just do this short paragraph here to help explain. Some Democrats have predictably made it a bipartisan affair, as Nicole Hannah-Jones, the creator of the 1619 Project, recently told the LA Times, quote, "This idea that racial reckoning has gone too far and now white people are the ones suffering is the most predictable thing in the world if you understand American history." So centrists told abolitionists that they'd gone too far and provoked the backlash, causing southern states secession. Centrists told King and other civil rights activists that they'd gone too far and provoked the backlash, causing Democrats to lose elections in 66 and 68. And some centrist Democrats today say woke politics have gone too far and provoked the woke lash. So tell me who was on the right side of history here. This idea of anti-white racism is so goddamn stupid that it hopefully doesn't need explaining. But if you want some historical context here, it gives you an idea that this is a constant theme of, you know, the centrists here, they're calling out centrists, but of course during the time, the right conservatives were much worse on all of these issues. But continuing on.
Actively work to undermine our God-given freedoms that are enshrined in our Constitution, who are hostile to people of faith and spirituality, who demonize the police but protect criminals at the expense of law-abiding Americans, who believe in open borders, who weaponize the national security state to go after their political opponents, and above all, who are dragging us ever closer to nuclear war.
Also notice there are no examples of anything here. Just throwing out claims, not backing anything up, and the idea that the Republican Party is innocent in any of this is absurd. And I'm going to get to, might as well mention it now. She mentioned elites at some point. Here's a little bit on the elites. So Trump spawned a new group of mega donors who now hold sway over the GOP's future. U.S. Republicans block bills seeking to end dark money in politics. That was this year. In fact, just last month. And, how'd this get in here? Tulsi Gabbard, amid Hillary Clinton tussle, hits Wall Street fat cat syndicate. This is the person calling out elites. In fact, to go on to right here, this is a great line. Quote, Tulsi is a rock star, said one Wall Street heavy hitter who attended. She's warm and smart. People in the room loved her. Calling out the elites. All right, let's just finish this.
Now, I believe in a government that's of the people, by the people, and for the people. Unfortunately, today's Democratic Party does not. Instead, it stands for a government that is of, by, and for the powerful elite.
Republicans have to gerrymander states to win elections. They have to suppress the vote to win. Republicans win when voter turnout is low. How can you possibly say any of this with a straight face? But of course, Tulsi is grifting. It's been obvious for a while. Let me just finish this now.
Now, I'm calling on my fellow common sense, independent-minded Democrats to join me in leaving the Democratic Party.
Also worth mentioning, on the voting part, Democrats win the popular vote. Republicans lose the popular vote. So if this is really about the voice of the people, about democracy, then you should be for the popular vote being the deciding factor in a presidential election. But you're not. Republicans are not for that because they know the only way they win is through gerrymandering and the Electoral College. Now let's finish this for real.
If you can no longer stomach the direction that the so-called woke Democratic Party ideologues are taking our country, then I invite you to join me.
Yes, woke Joe Biden. Crime bill Joe Biden. Joe Biden who palled around with segregationists at the beginning of his career. The Democratic Party picked the most conservative option they had. And you still have clowns like this attempting to grift, claiming the Democrats have gone too far left. Too woke. It is so insane and an obvious lie. Now, let's go through some reactions here. Parker Malloy on Twitter. This is funny. That face when your primary driver in life is trolling. So apparently Tulsi announced this today on National Coming Out Day. On National Coming Out Day, she comes out as no longer a Democrat. Here she is on Sean Hannity's show. This is back a year ago. Check this out.
You don't sound like a Democrat to me. I hereby, you can raise your right hand, you're definitely a conservative. So, anyway,
always a
Congresswoman.
pleasure, Sean.
Yeah. Even Sean Hannity could tell that she was full of shit. One of the dumbest men in media, Sean Hannity. So clearly you're not a Democrat, considering you're agreeing with everything I'm saying, every right-wing position, and then going on to host Tucker Carlson's show, which is not yet this clip. So here is, this is after initially supporting an impeachment inquiry last month. Tulsi Gabbard has now changed her tune, criticizing the current investigation while on Hannity tonight. So Tulsi flipped on Trump's impeachment. That was in 2019. Another indication that she was planning this eventual move. Then on her way to Congress, her last action was to sponsor an anti-trans bill. Again, obviously signifying where she was going. And then saying, I'll get to this clip, saying even more, FBI raid in Mar-a-Lago, a blatant abuse of power. Yes, of course. Yes. Trump breaking the law, stealing classified documents. If, I don't know, let's say Hillary was president and Hillary did that. You think Tulsi would be on Fox News defending Hillary Clinton? Get the F out of here. No, by the way, I would not be defending Hillary. Nobody that actually covers this stuff honestly would be defending this action. But here is this clown defending it. And just so happens, that same day, August 10th, oh, what's this? Announces that she's going to be hosting Tucker's show that night.
Don't make plans for Friday night. You're going to be hosting Tucker, so 8 o'clock Eastern time.
That's what I hear.
Yes. No, you can't get out of it. You're going to be here.
You can't get out of it. You're going to be here because we're giving you a ton of cash. On that point, Leo Terrell, Tulsi Gabbard has left the Democratic Party. I left in 2020. Smart move, Tulsi Gabbard. He left in 2020 and then just so happens at the beginning of the next year joins Fox News Media. I'm going to get to what I think maybe Tulsi's next steps are. First here, credit to Anna Kasparian, who called this out years ago before the vast majority of people. Joking here, who could have seen this coming like 5 years ago? Going on to say, I'll never forget how she demanded that I be excluded from interviewing her after she realized I looked into her congressional record and wanted to ask about it. On top of being a bad liar, she's also a coward. So that was during the 2020 primary. Tulsi refused to be interviewed by Anna Kasparian. And last comment here from Evan. Credit to Evan on Twitter, because I was struggling with whether or not to cover this, because Tulsi is clearly grifting. You know, this is the issue I have with people like this, is do I give them the attention they desire so badly? Like, I didn't cover the Kanye or Candace Owens recent garbage, because, again, they're doing it for attention. But here, Evan makes a good point, saying she's irrelevant now, but she won't be irrelevant when she's giving the RNC 2024 keynote address and or when she's the Republican VP nominee with Trump or DeSantis. So she's worth discussing, even if it's a lot of speculation. I think he is bang on, and I do completely agree with her plan here. I think this is what she ultimately wants to do. She wants to try and be the VP. It would think of it in terms of the politics of it, from Trump or DeSantis, their perspective. Here you have, as a VP, a former Democrat reaching across the aisle to a former Democrat. Hey, be my VP. And then we'll fool enough people into thinking that somehow we're a good person. That's the attempt. That's what the attempt will be. And I think she's going to try for this. I'm not sure it's going to work. I'm not sure they're going to go for it. But I do think that this is ultimately where she sees herself. And between now and then, I'm sure we'll see a lot more of her on Fox News.